future, talk radio will actually educate, inspire, and make you think. The future is now. Topics and music that affect your life from Universal Broadcasting Network. Tune in at ubnradio.com. Love, it's not always an easy thing, but when you find it, there's nothing like it. And Finding Cupid with David Cruz is here to help you do just that. It's a show where celebrity guests, singers, writers, and friends all come together to talk about one thing: love. Finding Cupid with David Cruz, only on ubnradio.com.
And welcome to Finding Cupid Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is David Cruz, your host for tonight. And welcome to the final episode of our season. We're not going anywhere, of course. But welcome to our final show of the season. Thank you so much for being with us this entire time. Welcoming back to the studio, of course, my amazing co-host and our few favorite members of Team Finding Cupid. We'll start with Matt Wall. Welcome to the studio, Matty.
Thank you for having me, as always.
Spencer Neustadt.
Hi.
And Leyna Doan are also in the studio.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm just going to give you a round of applause because we've made it. I mean, basically.
We did it.
We got through it. We started at the very beginning, which was just before Valentine's Day. And we rolled through the craziest month. Matt, specifically, you were here, and then Spencer and everyone kind of trickling in afterwards. But, Valentine's Day for us is hectic.
It is,
to say the least, right?
We love love.
We love love.
Wow.
Everything about this crazy time is just nutso. So for us, to be at this point where we're like, okay, we've survived, it can only be followed by drinks. So that's what we're doing after, right, kids?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So thank you all for joining us. Some fun stuff tonight, the same as usual, but then we're also going to be talking about some of the first date questions that you should ask. There was a list that was released by eHarmony, and they were saying that these are some of the questions that you should ask right before any first date. And we've all have a few questions that we've chosen that we all think. So I'm going to discover what Team Cupid thinks the perfect first date question should be in a little bit. So don't go anywhere. And if you have a first date question, I'd love for you to share with us. You can always head to our chat room right now where Maddie's at. Log on to the chat room. I think you can do it with Facebook. I think that's how it
Facebook,
works.
Twitter.
Facebook, Twitter.
There's something called chat roll. I don't know what that is.
Figure it out when you get on the thing.
Super easy.
But tell Maddie what you think the most important first date question should be, because we all have our favorite ones, and we're going to share that with everyone today and discuss, of course, give you some of our advice, our parting advice in this last show, and talk about some other fun stuff
or
too.
have you been asked a question that was crazy and out of the ballpark?
Yeah, just
let
think,
us know that.
First dates, what's that about? Yeah. So of
they're
course,
so fun.
They're so fun. And it's great when you go on literally 50 first dates. Have you ever been in that thing? I know, Leyna, you're married now, and I might as well be. But
Matt and I are the single ladies.
And the single ladies. But do you ever have those times where you're like, I'm going to go out and date? I am on a mission this week, and so you bulk up. Have you ever done this, Leyna, where you just went on a few first dates and it was just like, oh God, what? On Saturday you're just like, I can't anymore. Yeah, I can't do it.
For sure.
So we'll discuss first date craziness, but a lot going on, and we should probably start before we get any more distracted with what's going on in the news. What's trending? Let's figure it out. Got my papers. Are we all ready? I know. Peas and carrots.
This is hot off the press.
Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on in the news? And of course, this is the part where we sound a little bit more educated about things that are
Super
important.
smart.
But everything in the news is super gay.
It's super gay. This
It
week is
is.
super gay. Okay, so where do we start? There's a lot of stuff. I'm gonna start with the Bruce
The
interview.
topic of the week.
And it's Wednesday, so I feel like it's not as fresh as it was on Monday. Sunday, it was ripping apart the headlines. But who watched the interview?
I did.
Yes.
Everyone did.
A
Yeah.
day,
So
a day or two
good.
late, but I watched it.
Yeah.
What were your opinions on this?
I thought that at first I thought it was sad that he has spent so many years just agonizing because
Repressed.
he couldn't
Yeah.
be himself. Because I think that I mean, I'll speak for the gays. We know what that
Please.
feels like to not be able to be yourself because you
Yeah.
don't want to disappoint people,
Yeah.
and that's really sad.
Yeah,
but
super
then
sad.
at some point I was like kind of annoyed by him because he's like, of course I'm a Republican. Duh, I'm in favor of the Constitution. Like Democrats aren't.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
That was
And
weird.
he's like, I'm gonna march into Congress and they're gonna listen to me because I'm Bruce Jenner. Like, I know that you used to be an Olympics, the world's greatest athlete, but
Yeah.
cool it. Don't just put on
Yeah.
a dress and think you can prance around here.
Because the gays will tell you it takes
Yeah,
a lot
well,
more
yeah.
than that
But
to get the
all
attention
in all,
of
I thought
anyone.
I was very impressed, and I think that Diane Sawyer can handle anything that's
Living.
She
thrown at
did
her.
a great job with that
I
interview.
want to be her.
Yeah,
Yes.
she did a
Good.
great job because I remember a while back Katie Couric interviewing Laverne Cox and Carmen Carrera, and
yeah.
she kind of got herself in some hot water asking like questions that were a little sensitive. And I thought Diane Sawyer asked questions that people throughout the U.S., like if you're not part of like the LGBT community, like
Would
you
want to
have
know.
Yeah.
Exactly, and so she phrased these questions in an appropriate way, and I thought she
Right.
did a great job. I'm proud of him. Like that takes a lot of guts to do and to be
Right.
as open as he is.
So, Lena, you're the straight girl in the room.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, I mean, what was your take listening to a straight man, come out into the world and say he wears dresses and is transitioning and la la la, all of that?
I think it was like Matt was saying, like it is really sad to know that he's been like kept hidden for so long. I commend him gratefully that he's he totally came out, and I mean it was definitely a brave thing to do. It does concern me that there are still some people out there who are not so accepting to that. It makes me kind of sad to know
Sad,
that
yeah.
they might not accept it because he is such a he's pretty an amazing human being, for
Yeah.
what
Oh
he's
my gosh,
accomplished.
yeah.
I mean, it's incredible. So, but kudos for him for coming out. I mean, that's just
I
amazing.
agree.
Yeah.
When I watched the interview, all I could think about was what Matt said was that I am so sad that he was so repressed for so long. But, when you watch kind of the trajectory of his career, there was no way for him
Exactly.
Right.
to take a moment for himself. And really, most importantly, what I took away from this and what I want to share with everyone is that it is so important to be yourself and to be as authentic as possible to who you are and to be as happy as possible with you, because nothing else will matter. And at the end of the day, no matter how successful you are, you're still going to have to answer to yourself.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
And as you can see through him, it's like, he was an Olympian and, successful speaker and reality show person, and the list goes on. But he's still, and at this point in his life, at the age of in his life, he still has to deal with him. So you all are listening out there about, needing to fall in love and get married and do all these things and relationships and dating, but take care of you first. That's what I really felt at the end of the day of this interview was
That's
like,
right.
it's a good,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was my soapbox for that.
Have you,
Love it.
Has anyone seen the billboard on La Brea? And
No.
First?
Yes.
It's just this huge billboard
What?
of Bruce Jenner. It's from the Olympics. He's just running. There's no words. It's just Bruce Jenner.
Yeah.
No way, really?
Yeah, it's really cool.
How did I miss this?
It's a
I don't
really
know.
cool poster.
It's very recent.
So like somebody bought this billboard
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
put it up there and just
Yeah.
was like, "We love you, Bruce." Basically.
Basically, yeah.
basically.
Oh, that's super
I
cute.
know.
Yeah.
No, it's right
It is.
above that weird Hollywood memorabilia, like weird place that sells like the sign of Hollywood and like an oversized dinosaur. Right on La
Oh,
Brea.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
right
yeah.
above that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
Anyway,
have to go check it out.
Anyway. First in La Brea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it was a great interview. I loved it. Trans is the new gay is what I kind of take away from this. I feel like
Yeah.
talking about transgender is so it's so out there right now. And I remember when Laverne Cox came out, it was like, oh my God, Laverne Cox. And I jokingly go, Laverne Cox is like, that bitch stole my storyline.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were gonna laugh at that, but
Laugh track.
But I'm glad that we have really amazing people like Laverne Cox and Bruce Jenner out there, and it's going to in being within the industry, I'm starting to see. And I don't know if you guys have seen. Are you laughing at me?
No, I'm just thinking about what you said. So I'm just like, I get it.
It's
I get
funny.
it. I get
What?
it. No, no.
Now you see the joke.
Now I'm thinking like,
It finally landed for
geez,
Matt,
like-
so that's
Laverne
good.
Cox is like in the corner of the room going, mm-hmm.
But she has a like a
Stole it.
career though.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
She's a respected
There's
actress.
room.
Bruce isn't an actress, so or an actor. Or
I mean-
Yet.
Debatable.
You know what my favorite part of the whole thing was, and I'm going to go back to kind of speaking more politically correct about this whole thing, was the thing that I loved the most was that he had a black dress all ready and picked out, a
Oh,
little
he
black
did.
dress. And as a woman, right, Leyna?
Yeah.
The little black dress is everything.
Yes.
It's your little black date
It can't
dress.
be that little. He's like 6'2", and his shoulder. I'm just like, how are his shoulders?
It's
I
from the
lo-
big and tall department.
I loved that he had the dress,
I
but
wanna
that was my
see him in
favorite
it.
moment.
It's so fun.
As soon as I saw that, I'm like, he's going to be okay.
Yeah.
He's so excited.
He's
Yeah.
ready.
No, it's cute
Good.
because it's so symbolic. That's like the staple of
Yeah.
every girl's closet. The little
Yeah.
black dress. you know?
Totally. He's going to be okay. I think I'm going to watch. That's all I'm going to say.
Do you guys
And
think
follow.
he's going to end up? I mean, can we project with a man or a woman? I think at the beginning of the interview, he was like, "I'm interested in women. I'm heterosexual," and at the end, he was just like, "We'll wait and
Who
see."
knows? At this like
He's like, you'll have
one
to tune
step
in
at a
and find
time.
out.
I know.
I was going
He's
somewhere.
like, "That's my next special."
Yeah. Right.
Even though he says he's not gonna do it, he's gonna do it for the money.
Yeah. Or Chris will make him do it for the money.
She's like, "We're not married, but I'm still your manager."
Right.
Right.
Maybe she is his manager.
Is she?
Well, yeah, she became his manager and got him all those like promotional spots before
Wow.
they were like married.
Well, they're
Huh.
divorced though.
That doesn't mean that.
Yeah, I mean, but it's
Business
Kris
is
Jenner.
business. Wow. I didn't.
Anyway,
I don't know.
let's
we'll
move on.
see. We'll see. Okay, moving on. Hillary Duff. Wait, I had a point.
Oh, what's your point?
I can't remember what it was.
Hillary Duff.
Well, you're like little black dress. He'll be okay.
But it was before that. Rewind. I can't even remember. Sorry,
Laverne
kids.
Cox stole my thunder.
Yeah. Something.
Okay.
It's okay.
Oh, about transgenders. I was talking about like how it's really. I'm so happy about it because. You know, I feel like it was a long time in coming for gay characters to be on television and, you know, in parts and whatnot. But I feel like with the transgender thing, it's like full force, so fast and so quick.
Yeah.
If you're in entertainment at all, and if you look at castings or any of the entertainment rags about shows that are coming out, there's so much transgender coming out that is just like, wow,
Yeah.
we're really into this, and it's great because then it normalizes what people don't think is normal to me, and you know, it's like, and it's a normal thing, kids. So I'm glad we're going to educate America.
Yes.
And
I love that.
we're continuing to, you know, change things and faster than we have been. So thank you, America, for being so accepting.
You're the best.
But let's move on. Hillary Duff was in the news because a lot of dating stuff that's going on in entertainment and news. She was on Tinder. She went on a Tinder
Yeah,
date
she
this
did.
last week. But what was interesting to me is that that she went on a group date.
Oh, I didn't know this.
So
What,
she
in
went
high
on
school?
a date. I mean, I don't know.
Like a group Tinder?
She's a celebrity, right? So
She is.
Right?
she gets to go. I don't know. Do you, Leyna? Do any of your single girlfriends use Tinder?
No, actually, I'm gonna
Uh-oh.
speak for Leyna. I had to school her on what Tinder was
I
before
didn't
we
learn
started.
about Tinder till like 5 minutes
In the green
ago.
room, I had to pull up my Tinder.
Like,
and
what is
Wow.
Tinder? Now I've heard of Grindr in my defense, but I've not heard of Tinder.
This is why she's my friend. Same thing, just straight people in it,
Oh,
and a lot more clothes on.
I see.
So
Yeah.
funny.
Matt described it as the classier version of
I was like, no, it's
Of
classy.
Grindr.
It's classy.
You actually have to give them your number
Yeah.
first before it gets anywhere
Exactly.
else.
So
They don't show you dick pics right away.
But your husband said no. So and so's on Tinder. So you do know someone that's on Tinder.
Everybody
But
here in
now you're-
America knows someone.
My husband knows
Everyone's
a lot of things.
affected by Tinder.
Yeah.
Well, so Hillary Duff, you know, a lot of celebrities are just, you know, they're digging in deep and going into the dating pool of America, which is good for them. They need normal people. And so Hillary Duff went on a date, but then she ended up going bowling with her date. And I guess he brought some friends and she brought some friends. So
Hey, she said he was cool.
Yeah.
That's her official statement.
hashtag cool.
Yeah.
My question to you is, if you did go on a date, would you do a group date? That seems a little strange to me, because I feel like everyone's watching.
I feel like maybe if you're a celebrity, it might be like a nice thing, so it's not so. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe
maybe.
it's too. It's maybe awkward for the other person or something. I don't know.
I see, you know, I don't know about the first date. I guess I can understand why some people would do it on the first date, maybe because they're like, I guess, considered the safety blanket,
right.
you know?
So that you don't have to go, hey, this is who I'm going out with. Here's a screenshot of who he is. This is
Right.
the number and the address that I'm at in case I get stabbed. I've done that before. Have you guys ever
Really?
done that?
No, I
Do you,
should.
Creepy.
do you ever like go out on a first date and I sound like I just did this yesterday, but I used to do that where I was like, I'm afraid, you know, it's like you just don't know who this person is, and you like leave like a secret letter in your house just in case you
Right.
get totally stabbed to death, and it's like they'll find this and they'll know who it is because he won't get away
But
with it.
here's the
Yeah.
thing: it's embarrassing if you do that with Grindr. So like,
Well,
I mean, but there's all these things that people like getting killed, like meeting people off Grindr.
Right.
It's like, oh shit,
All
maybe
these
people
things?
need to. Have you not read these articles?
yeah, there's
guess
someone just
so.
got their
Wow.
neck slit, right?
Google this, Matt.
Well, I mean, it's the same for meeting up
But
with
it's
anyone
very
in general.
embarrassing though. If it's like, I'm gonna be gone for like 20 minutes or like an hour.
What should I
Be
put in my
back.
Google search? Dead Grinder guys?
Sure.
Oh, God. Click on images, please.
Dead guys from Grinder.
It's a hot new website.
Do you know what comes up first? Dead guys from SNL. Dead guys from Jackass.
Okay, no.
not
So
quite
anyway,
what we
so
want.
I mean, I guess it was a right move for Hillary.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was a Lizzie McGuire reunion.
Oh God, I live for this.
I was so excited. If anyone watched that show, it was so exciting. So it was obviously Hillary Duff, clearly,
Right.
and then there was Miranda, and then Leyna, who like her best friend,
Uh-huh.
and then what's his name, Jake Thomas, who played Matt, her brother, who's actually like
I was gonna say, is he cute?
he's super. I have a picture. Hold on.
I don't even know what you guys
they,
are talking
they had
about.
just like a friend get together, or we're totally derailing from our conversation.
Yeah, we are.
He's
And-
gotten really cute though. Hold on, I'm trying to find a good picture.
So wait, no, Spencer though, was this like
Let me
a
look
friend
at it.
reunion? Oh,
he's
that was
gotten really
What is
cute.
he? Oh,
He's gotten a lot cuter
wow.
since. I mean, he was like 4 on the show.
I
Not
would love to
4.
do a list of child stars that were like cute, like boys, and show them as they are now as adults.
They just did that with like Goonies and stuff like
well,
that, and some of them have turned out
One
well.
of the ads that comes up at the bottom of this article
He's still
reading is
Googling this.
9 nerdy actors who grew up to be heartthrobs.
Nailed it. On the dead Grinder guys?
Yeah, speaking of dead Grinder guys.
They know their demo.
Okay, so we have room for one more here.
Just derailed
which,
so
yeah,
hard.
totally derailed. Sorry, kids. Welcome to our last show.
Hmm.
We don't care. Let me see.
What's most popular?
Let's do Ian Somerhalder. He just got married this weekend,
Yeah.
a surprise undercover wedding. And he got married to, help me.
Somebody read.
Yeah, Nikki Reed.
Nikki Reed.
Is that it?
Yep.
Terrorist.
See, we don't really care to investigate the news.
Nikki Reed.
here.
She was in Twilight.
We just know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We just, yeah.
Duh.
So was my friend Kellen Lutz, who's on Bagels and Grindr.
Go
Or
away.
Bagels and Coffee, a dating app.
Bagels and
Matt. Okay.
Matt,
Matt
sit down.
Hold on. Matt discovered this new dating app called.
It's called Coffee and Bagel.
It sounds like a Jewish dating app.
I was like, wait.
I need to be on that one instead.
I like the name. It sounds cute.
It
No.
sounds. I
I
like
imagine
it.
cartoons, right?
Yeah, just so like, just so innocent.
Can you
know,
explain to me
coffees
what
and
this
bagels.
is, and why haven't you brought this up earlier? Because this is a dating show.
I'm so sorry. Well, I think it looks like Tinder, but it's like, it's basically like who wants to meet for coffee. So it's like really
Or a
like
bagel.
low key first dates.
Clearly, that's not doing well in LA because nobody.
And
eats
my
bagels
coworker
here.
was like, "Hey, guess who came up?
low carbs.
Except me.
Yeah.
Guess who came up as a match? Kellen Lutz." And I was like, "Oh,
Real
cool.
Kellen Lutz?
And then she said, ask if he's on it. And he didn't respond to my text.
That's right, because Maddie took, what was it, like an acting class with Kellen?
I did, and he's really, really nice, you guys.
And Matt
How
knows where he
nice
lives
was he?
too.
He's nice.
First
I
of
know where
all,
he lives if you guys want to go over.
If I ever showed up to an acting class, which I feel like I need to, but if I ever showed up to an acting class and Kellen Lutz was in there, I would die.
the only
dating
dating
app-
app that
the-
women love?
The only dating app that women love.
I feel like that's
This is called Coffee and a
weird.
Bagel.
Coffee meets bagel.
Coffee meets bagel.
Coffee meets bagel.
So who's the coffee? Who's the bagel?
It's so strange.
that's a really
to
loaded
me.
question. I don't
But it's
appreciate that.
cute. I just don't think aesthetically it doesn't match with what I think it is.
Yeah.
No. It looks like a Christian dating app, like whichever that one is, like Christian Mingle or something like that. It reminds me of like that on the front.
Lots of jokes building about this, and like, it's like you hit like yes is coffee, so you hit the coffee like logo, or if he's gross and ugly, you hit bagel. You're such a bagel.
It just basically
Totally
said
redefined bagel.
I know.
You're welcome.
Never having one.
people that want to just meet like on a coffee break.
Yeah.
So it's like super quick, super fast.
And
go
I-
to coffee.
I
Be
totally
like, I don't
agree.
like it. I do.
We all know
Which
this,
is
right?
nice.
I totally agree with first dates being coffee. I don't know about bagel, but
Don't let them
Why
see you
not?
eat.
Wait, one little quick sec, because this kind of describes.
Go.
To make this fun and easy, we decided to deliver our members one match, a bagel, every day at noon. So you only get one match. I remember this. So they'll send you like a match. So Kellen Lutz shows up in your inbox. Members simply
My
choose
dreams.
to like or pass their bagel. We wanted to create something for you to look forward to every day, something that adds excitement to spice up your lunch break.
I feel like my grandma made this app, possibly my mom.
She's like, you can only get one because you'll
Only
get two
one
chubby.
bagel, and you gotta split it and share it with your sister.
Oh,
So you get one match
Okay.
a day.
Huh.
Don't get too
Cute.
hasty with
that's
your
kind of
swiping.
nice though.
I'm not sure if I like the direction of this coffee and bagel business.
All right, guys, let's get out of this.
There's no more news.
Thank you for dealing with our news. That's it. That is, of course, always what we think is important in the world of dating and relationships in Hollywood. So we are going to take a quick break really quick. When we come back, we're going to get into our top dating questions to ask before, possibly during or after or while you're dating somebody. Team Cupid has their favorite ones. We're going to ask them. If you have a question, hey, it's our last show. We'd love to talk to somebody live. Give us a call.
Yes, we would.
Maddie, do we have the number there? What's the number?
sure I
hold on. I have
do.
the number. I always know it's right in front of me. So 323-284-7826 is the number. Give me a call. Let's chat. Let's say hi. Let's have a bagel.
Coffee or a bagel?
Coffee or a bagel. And I'd love to hear, if you're listening out there, what your favorite first date questions are. So you can chat it or call us. So don't go anywhere. This is Finding Cupid Radio. Before, as you know, in tradition of the show, we find new music. Last week we had Eli Lieb, who is friends with Adam Lambert. And he just released a new single from his new album coming out. Ghost Town is the name of this new song. If you haven't heard it, it's pretty
really good.
awesome.
Spooky.
It's pretty
Spooky.
awesome. Which is also weird because Madonna has a new song called Ghost Town.
Oh, cool.
Whatever.
Me too.
She needs to calm down.
She needs
We know my thoughts on her. Bye.
We get it. Okay, so this is Adam Lambert's new single. Check it out. Tell us what you think about it. This is Finding Cupid Radio. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Died last night in my dreams, walking the streets of some old ghost town. I tried to believe in God and James Dean, but Hollywood sold out. Saw all of the saints lock up the gates I could not enter. Walked into the flames, called out your name, but there was no answer. And now I know my heart is a ghost town. My heart is a ghost town.
And welcome back to Finding Cupid Radio. My name is David Cruz. That was Adam Lambert.
Landed a spaceship in that ghost town.
That's his new single, Ghost Town. Pretty cool. Starts off kind of like Western ghost town and then goes into Western discotheque.
Love it.
I'm all about it. Western discotheque. I made that up.
I wish
I'm getting so
It's
much
going to be the
better.
newest bar.
It's going to be, oh my God, totals. Have you been to Western discotheque downtown? I love it.
It's on Santa Monica.
It used to be 11.
It's owned by a housewife.
Selfie time.
So we're live back here
away.
at Finding Cupid Radio. Team Cupid's in the house. I have Leyna Doan, our chef from FindingCupid.com. I have our YouTuber Spencer Neustadt, and of course Maddie Wall, co-host of The World, here today. It's our final show. Thank you all for joining us again. We've got a lot to talk about tonight, specifically something a little bit more fun too. Hold on, I think Maddie, is your mic on?
Hello.
Oh, it is. Okay, good. Sorry, thought I cut you off.
Don't cut me
Well,
off.
you got quiet. I just realized.
I was taking a selfie.
Sorry. He had other things to do. So tonight we are talking about this list that was released from eHarmony.com, and they released a list of 15 important questions to ask on a first date, according to them. And I thought it'd be interesting to have everyone choose what they thought was of this list, their most important and why, and to discuss. So as we all know, first dates are a little bit stressful, and according to the person, well, depending on the kind of person you are, I should say, some people are really nervous on first dates. Are you guys nervous on first dates, or are you like champs? Well, I guess I should talk to you kids. I've never been nervous on a first date.
Me neither.
I don't think I've really been nervous. I don't know. Sometimes it's like always in the beginning, it's a little bit weird because you're trying to like, because if you've met them on like a dating website or an app and you meet in person, it's kind of like, okay, like, you know, like maybe they don't look exactly like their picture or something. You kind of have to like, have you experienced that?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I probably don't look exactly like my photos because I use Photoshop. Just
And
kidding.
Facetune.
Yeah, I think I get nervous because I want to look my best. I want to impress. I want them to think I'm hilarious.
Is that what you try to convince them?
Oh,
Bring my best
cute.
jokes.
That's cute.
So yeah, I would say I'm kind of nervous.
I want to ask you guys though, do you guys get, I mean, fast forward before technology, you used to sit down, make a scheduled date, sit down with somebody and ask every question, the typical ones included. But now it feels like, you know, these dating apps and online dating make it so much easier to ask those right away. Do you guys, are you a little bit more conservative about questions you ask prior as far as first date questions are concerned, or do you wait for the first date to actually ask them?
I try to not ask like so many detailed questions because you want to be able to like ask a lot of questions in person and like keep conversation going. So like, I don't know, I'll ask like general stuff, but as for like, I don't know, like the hard, not like hard hitting questions, but the things that actually like would want to discuss, like some of it's more fun to discuss in person, especially if it's like hobbies or stuff like that, because then you get to see like their enthusiasm about it, and it makes it a little more exciting and a little more fun.
I agree with that.
WWDSW. What would Diane Sawyer do?
What-
What are you trying to spell?
I know. I'm like,
Okay, stupid.
is there a website?
But I feel like I over chat before I'm like if I meet the person online, the conversation goes on way too long. So I've asked everything. We've talked about everything.
That's what I
and then by the
understand.
time we meet, if we meet, because I feel like that's a problem.
Yeah.
That we talk so long, and then I
Like,
say,
what do you say when you get
let's
there?
go get coffee or let's go to lunch. I'm kind of busy. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this was
Because
stupid.
you blew
then.
your load right before you met them.
I guess.
It's sad.
Maybe I let my true colors show. Now they hate me.
So, Leyna, you don't,
Yeah.
in your dating time, and Lena's married. I should preface all of our questions with that.
My
But,
husband will appreciate that. He emphasizing that I'm married.
Well, when you, she's
Leyna,
married, folks. Hands up. When you were dating, though,
You know, dating was always kind of fun for me because I don't have a checklist per se. I always just thought, you know what, everyone's different. You just have to go and embrace it. When I go, it's very, open-minded. Whatever happens, happens.
Sure.
But the one fun question I always kind of like to ask. And, obviously I'm very biased because I'm a chef, is if the world were to end tomorrow, what would be your last meal you would have?
Ooh.
And the only reason why I say that is because I actually can read a lot about a person through food and what they choose.
Okay, so can we ask
That's
a little bit
good.
more? Like,
Sure.
what was like what was the answer that turned you off?
I don't think it was necessarily, there weren't any wrong
Wrong
responses,
answers?
but it just kind of gave me a little bit of an insight of how the person is. Like, let's say this person is like, oh, I want,
Tell me what something somebody said to you.
let's say like, I'd want, a meal from Joe Robuchon, and I want it, like this, and I want my steak to be like this, and my steak to be like, my lobster to be like this, and if it's like overcooked, I'm like, you can obviously tell.
I see that.
Because honestly,
Actually,
the
it's good.
first
Interesting.
date, people they can be on their best behavior.
Yes,
But when you
they
ask
are.
them a question like that kind of throws them catches them off guard, then you can kind of like, okay, you kind of
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
this is why listening to a chef on Finding
That's
Cupid
brilliant.
is pretty genius.
Leyna, what did your husband say?
So my husband was very easy. He's like, crawfish. He loves crawfish. Very,
Really?
it's like one of those things where he's just like down and dirty, easy. No, qualms
Down
about
and
it.
dirty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
He's like, I love
know?
That's why.
crawfish. I'm so dirty.
Like crawfish, how would he have
He
it?
just
for-
it's one
just
thing
like
about
steamed crawfish, or
just crawfish. Like usually, I think it's like broiled in like seasoning, and it, to me when he said that to me, it just shows that he's very down to earth. He's not afraid to
Yeah.
get his hands dirty, and he's not afraid to put his guards down because And it's funny because I think it took him 3 months to take me on a crawfish date, and that's when it was like, sauce flying all over the place, and stuff falling,
Eating with your
all
hands,
over, eating it with your
bibs.
hands. I mean, it's definitely
Classy.
a level of comfort by that
Yeah.
point, But it was really cute when he said that. It was just like, oh, and besides the fact that I'm from New Orleans, so
Oh, that's
I was,
perfect.
yeah, I'm born in New Orleans, so I can appreciate the fact that
I
he
didn't know
loves
this
crawfish.
about her.
Yeah,
And I know her.
Yeah.
Well, the
That's
more you
really
know.
cute. I love
Watch the
that.
rainbow.
yeah, that's so cute.
Met the perfect man by
Cute.
based on what food he would like before
Hey,
he
Yeah.
that's a first date. Okay, listen, you got to hear first, folks. Take the resident expert chef here at Finding Cupid. Listen to Leyna's advice and ask them what their last meal. Wait, what was it? Their last meal on Earth.
If
He
the
died.
world was to be over tomorrow, not to sound like gory or anything, but
If we were all gonna die
If I was
tomorrow.
gonna murder
yeah,
you
like if the
tonight,
world was
what
to
would
end
you want
tomorrow,
to eat?
what would be your absolutely like favorite last meal would be? Wow. And that would be, I think that's a really fun question.
What's your
'Cause you'd be
favorite
very-
last meal, Leyna?
Oh, see, you can't ask me that because that's where I get really picky.
Let me ask
16
Spencer
16
then.
tasting course at Joe Robuchon, please.
Yeah.
God. Well,
I-
you're a chef.
yeah.
I think you have a
so
different
it's- yeah.
level of
You
expertise.
kind of have that's part of the territory. But if you were to ask like a normal person or whatever, you just
What would your
I think it
answers
would
be,
different.
kids? I keep calling everyone kids.
Mine
Sorry.
Mine would be. Did you say carrots?
I said kids.
Kids.
Can of carrots?
Yes.
Can of
Wow.
carrots and some kale. I'd have kale salad.
Oh.
No, I would honestly want just like a Sunday dinner that my mom made, like roast potatoes, carrots, gravy.
Oh, see, I like that.
Just reminds me of my mom. Just like
Yeah.
a whole, like just deliciousness.
Yeah.
That
Cooked by
sounds
my
good.
mom.
The last meal. on
What does that
Earth,
say about
huh?
me, Leyna?
You're sweet.
Oh.
You're a sweetheart.
And he has parental issues.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Oh, back off.
Go, Spencer.
Me,
Alcohol.
a big Bloody Mary. And
Liquid diet.
It's like a salad.
Bye. No, there's a restaurant in San Francisco that I'm obsessed with called Zuni, and they make the best roast chicken. And like any roast chicken, my mom makes an amazing roast chicken. I think
Pollo
just
Loco?
like correct.
My mom, El Pollo.
No, but like that just reminds me of like. Because so like on Jewish holidays, like roast chicken's huge, like that. Like
Wait, is it really?
Oh yeah, we always have literally roast chicken for everything.
Who
Huh.
knew?
I've only been to chew. Okay, go.
But like no, like at least in my family, it is like that for me is just like I love that.
See, I don't go to a Jewish household to expect roasted chicken.
No.
I want the good
You
shit that's back there.
brisket.
Brisket. Give me anything that's made in
No,
a
but
pot.
like my mom makes an amazing roast chicken, and Zuni like in San Francisco is
It's
like
good.
oh my god,
Okay.
we gotta look it
It's
up.
Let's go.
Google it.
phenomenal.
Do they have
Google
images?
Hmm.
Zuni.
Yeah.
Ooh, let's Google images. David, what would you eat?
Yeah.
Gosh, after listening to all your answers, and now that I've had time to think about it, at first I was like, I just want like the most. Well, okay, I need to understand a little bit more information first. How much time is this? Like an asteroid coming towards the Earth? How much time do I have to prepare this?
Like if it was your absolute last meal, like if you were just be like, oh my god, you find out something bad's gonna happen, and you're like, okay, this is the last meal I have to have. I've never had this. I've never had someone ask me that before, like in detail, like how much time frame you really have.
And that tells you about me.
You have some time. They can make you 16 courses if needed.
So it's not like,
How hungry am I?
Yeah. What time of day? Did I go to the gym
Oh
earlier?
my god.
We all know
What pants will I be wearing?
I just need to know. Is it fall?
David's
Am I
wearing
in
your
my
sweat.
moo or not?
I want to know what's in the garden. Is it fresh? In my head, I instinctively say I just want a great steak, like a good last meal. I feel like a good steak with just like one side would be great. But then I also, after hearing you and with family stuff, I feel like, 'cause I'm from an island, I'm from Guam, and their thing on Guam is to just have a very massive fiesta so that people come over and then they eat tons of food, like plate after plate. It's like Thanksgiving times 12. I think I would do that too, because you could have a bunch of people over.
I'm going to your last meal.
Right?
That sounds amazing.
Ooh, invite me over when you die.
Hey guys, so the world's ending and we're all gonna die. We want to die together. I'm
Come to
I'm having a
Guam.
fiesta.
See, I would say based off of all three of your responses, you guys are very family oriented.
Very crazy.
Yes.
Which
Oh, family.
I love.
Cute.
I mean, that's
Which is actually would be my question is, asking them what their relationship's like with their family, because my family and I are like best friends. Like
Yeah.
I went home for my birthday to go hang out with my family. Like that's what I wanted to do. So for me, like that's really important.
So Spencer, what's your question then?
So that one. So how
Oh, sorry.
like what your relationship is like with your family and like stuff like it's important to me. Like if you have a really bad relationship with your family, like
Yeah.
I don't know, like not that it's a bad thing, but I like to hang out with all my exes. Like they had great families. And they were close with their families, so we'd always go over there and hang out and have fun. And for me, that's kind of important. I like kind of having that like relationship.
Right. You need to know that it's important. And
Yeah, and I
not
think
just
I that like good family ties is like an important thing for me.
I like that.
Jinx.
Go home.
Maddie, what's your question?
We're like old
You're
people.
ridiculous.
You're ridiculous. My question. I was looking at the paper. I'm like, there are no questions. It's because it's online. Well, earlier I wanted to know two things. If they want to have a family, because that's really important to me to have children. And then I mentioned Leyna and I were talking when we walked in the studio about pet peeves. I love to know what bugs people because I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And I was telling Leyna I bonded with this guy just over chatting on OkCupid about how the things that we hate. And I know that's stupid to bond over things you hate, but it's just interesting to me, like, to know what really gets at someone.
Yeah, I feel like I know that too, because or I agree with you, because sometimes you kind of don't. I always like to be prepared, obviously, by my questioning earlier. I just want to understand, like, if you hate cats, that I'm not saying let's go to the, the feline festival. I don't even know what that is. I'm trying to think of a cat festival.
Yes, those are so fun. I wouldn't be caught dead there.
Yeah, because I also don't want somebody to be like put in a position where they're trying to do something for the purpose of making somebody else.
I also
happy.
think it's hard
that's
it's a hard question to lie about,
Yeah.
maybe. And then you also can tell a lot, I think, from someone. Like the thing with food, like I think I can tell a lot from
Such a
person when
good
they're like, "This is what
question.
really bugs me." You can tell, like, kind of if they're really high maintenance or if they're just kind of like, "Nah."
Yeah, I like that.
So I don't know. That's my question.
But then there's some people that would probably be like holding it back just for the sake of
Trying to impress me.
So yeah,
the first date fake it is what
right,
I call it.
right.
Yeah.
So then you kind of like don't really get to know the person for what they are because they're holding back because of what you said or what they said. I think.
I agree with
But
that.
although I like the concept of it, you can bond over it. That's great. But I think sometimes people have a tendency to, when they hear things like that, they they have a tendency to hold back.
Yeah.
Like, oh, things that
Yeah.
bug me are
Because they like you so much,
Just
you know?
like,
when the mail gets too full and I can't get it out of the mailbox. Like, okay, great for you.
what question do you like?
You know, one of the things that one of the questions from here that I like is asking them about their childhood. You know, how they were when they grew up. I like to know if somebody has come from a big family. I like to know where they were in a big family. Are you middle child, oldest child, only child? And it just because I kind of, you know, it's like Leyna says, you kind of get to know about certain things the way that they answer things. My boyfriend's a middle child. I think like all middle children are the exact same way. They don't, you know, it's like they want everyone to be happy.
Yes, we do.
Oh, you are a middle child? See, and there's that thing where it's like, you know, and I talk to a lot of people about dating and there are big consistencies between people, you know, that are only children and middle children and, you know, last child. So I like to know about their childhood, how they grew up. I think for me, if somebody, you know, tells me about, you know, how they grew up, how they took care of their family, or if they like got everything they wanted because mom and dad said yes to everything. It's kind of like, okay, well, this is going to be a great relationship. But yeah, I like to know about their childhood.
I like that.
What do you guys think about that?
I like that.
No, I like that.
Cool. What were some of the other questions that were on here? There's some fun ones. Are there questions that you hate asking on a first date? That you're just like, oh, good.
There were some questions on here that I didn't really like so much.
What was the one?
So the one is, have you figured out your calling in life? I'm
That's
sorry.
Horrible.
That's really tough to answer.
No, but thanks for asking.
My life consists of video games and like collecting comic books. Like I really don't know if that's my calling, but like that's where I'm at right now.
That's basically where I am.
That's like basically my life right now.
Like
so
I want to stop you right
it's
there.
like a full-time job.
There's some
I think that number 13 was kind of irrelevant to me dating someone who was your favorite school teacher and why. But then
Oh,
Spencer's
good.
like, I'm a
Then I
favorite school
actually
teacher.
have like an answer for that question if it was to come up ever.
Like if we
What?
just start talking about school.
Well, like if you're talking
tell
about like
me.
going
So
to
what's the answer?
college or like whatever, like
I guess if it's a really great story, then I'll be like, oh, I'm all ears.
I had a professor I went to Emerson.
I didn't ask you to
college in
tell it.
Boston.
I
David did.
cool it. Tell me the
Oh
story,
no!
please.
So I had a professor when I was at school in Boston. She was my favorite teacher I think I've ever had. She was this Polish woman, like super thick accent, but she had a birth defect where her legs didn't work, so she was in a wheelchair all the time. But she just wore these like massive fur, like beautiful furs and like huge Chanel glasses, and would just like wheel around the streets of Boston, like yelling at people, and like she was an incredible
she was
teacher.
a teacher.
She was incredible. Like,
What did she teach?
Philology.
No.
People yelling.
I was a
101?
People.
theater major, so
Theater.
it was
Oh.
history. It was like history of theater, like 2
Oh.
or something like that.
Gotcha.
She was amazing. Like I'm like friends with her on Facebook still. She's my favorite.
Aw,
That's cuteness.
Yeah.
cute.
Well, kids, we're almost at the end here. Thank you for sharing for all of your first date questions. I have to say, Leyna, you get the like ding dong bell
That was
today.
an awesome question.
It was like that's a really good question.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do a little bloggy McBlog thing about it and put it up on the website.
What if someone said pizza? What should I do?
Yeah.
That's actually kind of good. That just means that they're very easygoing.
and they like threesomes.
And they don't. They're
Why?
Wait.
Somebody who wants multiple
threesome,
choice.
whatever.
Oh, I want
You
a
don't say-
supreme pizza. If you know what I mean.
What kind of crust? Sorry, I always bring it back
Double
to there.
stuffed.
Yeah.
I like Oreo sundaes.
Deep dish.
See, we always make it. This is what happens, Leyna. I'm
We're the
sorry.
worst. Bye.
We were going to end on a high note, but I'm glad to see we're staying
So
true
we
to
just
our
threw
roots.
it back to the gutter. Thanks, dude.
But Leyna, you do win for best introduction question.
Yeah, you didn't know it was a contest.
Oh, I didn't know.
We're like this. No, I don't want to say that. Well, thank you. I think everyone should do that or try all of ours. Tell us your favorite dating questions. Definitely send us an email at AskFindingCupid. If you have any other dating questions, we'll answer them on our blog. You can, of course, find more about Team Cupid here at finding-cupid.com. And just because we're going away for the season doesn't mean we won't be back. So stand tight. Lots of really fun, exciting news coming up. So make sure to head to our website and subscribe to all of our newsletters. Lots of fun things coming up, especially Mother's Day and Father's Day things. I know we're going to be working on some cute things coming up. And don't forget to shop in our store. There's some really great gifts that we have for anyone that you love, and all sorts of funny stuff, especially on our YouTube channel where you'll find Spencer. And then since
I want to do another video with Spencer, okay?
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because we're hilarious together.
You kind of are.
Really funny.
Well, thank you all so much for tuning in. And like I said, thank you so much for tuning in this last season. We all love you so, so much. And if you missed anything from this past spring season of Finding Cupid Radio, make sure to head to iTunes, subscribe, listen to all the other ones. They're free. So why the heck not, right? And of course, head to finding-cupid.com for everything on Leyna, Spencer, Matt, and I, and the rest of Team Cupid who isn't here. But until then, have a great rest of your week, and we will see you very, 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 very soon. We love you all. Everyone waves to a camera. That's great. Okay. And for all the ones listening on a podcast, let's blow some kisses. All right, guys. Have a great night, and we'll talk to you all later.
Bye.
Showsies.
Shows that make you laugh. Shows that make you think. Music that moves you. It could only be one place. Universal Broadcasting Network. Tune in at ubnradio.com.